Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another Eco Insider TV. This series is all about how to plan an eco-focused event. These days, sustainability is more than just a buzzword. It's a way of life for people across the globe. Everything that we need for survival and well-being depends either directly or indirectly on the natural environment. Businesses have a need and an opportunity to provide more sustainable products and services and do their part. This series is about providing eco focused solutions in the event planning space. So, I'm going to be sharing with you how to include the eco focusedness in the conversation of the initial conversations of planning. I think we did that week before last, and then the steps that included, like included in the plan, included in the budget, figure out your vendors, honor your word to do so. And then we talked about food, who to get the food from, what vendors to use, and gosh, venue. We did that too. That was a whole week of talking about how to find an eco-focused venue, what to look out for, what questions to ask. And those are in the previous episodes. This week, we are going to be tackling the other, topics that have to do with event planning. And today we're talking about audio visual. My name is Melody Dixon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners, curators of eco-focused events. I support clients who are steeped in all things sustainability, steeped deep. That means it's in their home life, it's in their business, and it's in their events. So they reach out to me because I'm aligned with that. So are they. It's like two people running slow motion towards each other and then hug at the end. Yeah, we're aligned, we're heading in the same direction. I also support clients who have no idea about sustainability. They may have seen some things online and maybe they watched a couple of things and now their feed is being, the algorithms is sending them more things on recycling, upcycling, eco-focused events, design, all the things. And so they reach out to me because they want to try that in their event. So I show them ways on how to incorporate eco-focused elements in their home life, in their business, and in their events. So we take the little tiny eco-focused steps, and over time, when compounded, it makes a big positive impact on the environment. So, what is sustainability? It is meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the ability of the future generations to meet their own needs. I like to say that God is so big and expansive and just beautiful with what's been created in the world. And because we're from God, we have that penchant to be creative as well. So we invent things, we design things, we create things, we build things, we start businesses, and we have the resources on this planet to do so. But we get to do so intentionally so that for the rest of our lives, we have access to these resources. Our kids do, our kids' kids, and then family and friends generation, like 10 generations deep, will have access to the same resources. Now, there are three pillars to sustainability. The first one is the environment. We get to reduce the use of what we're already using, reuse what we have, and recycle. I like to squeeze in a fourth. I call that upcycling. And a new example came across my view last week. Typically, I give the example of Flea Market Flip from HGTV or Container Masters from, I think, Prime Video. I'm not too sure. There are companies around the world using old clothing and they cut off pieces of it and they make bags and they make other clothes. So they take old sports jerseys, they cut off the numbers, and they combine different numbers together, different colors, some different teams, and they make duffel bags or handbags, or they make other shirts with it. It's just such a unique, and I love that. Because if there's a stain on the shirt, you may not feel comfortable wearing it in public, but the shirt is still wearable. So they cut that out and they make a whole new thing that you can get a whole new use out of. Absolutely love that. The second is the economics. If it's sustainable and eco-focused, it also gets to make you money or save money. The third is social responsibility. We get to love our neighbors as ourselves. So when we start the business, we hire people. And in so doing, they now have an opportunity to find a place to live, feed their family, take care of their health care and their own mental wellness, all from the fact that we have an eco-focused business. All right. So today, the next step in events, we're talking about audiovisual, whether it's sustainable or eco-focused audiovisual. In a rapidly changing world where sustainability and environmental consciousness is gaining just huge importance, industries across the globe are seeking eco-friendly alternatives to minimize their ecological footprint. And the audiovisual technology sector is no exception. The event planning, corporate event planning space is no exception. As the demand for high quality audio and captivating visuals continue to grow, the need to align technological advancements with eco consciousness has become more crucial than ever. So, I have 3 ways that we can incorporate an eco focused audiovisual type situation in our events. And what does audiovisual look like for your event? It could be the lighting in the building, up lighting on the walls, or pin spot lighting on the table, highlighting the centerpiece. It could be lighting around the room, that intelligent lighting that goes with the music, or maybe with a grand entrance. There's so lighting on signage. There's so many ways that lighting plays a big part in your event, and that's just a part of audiovisual. It can also be having screens where you can project on it and show your presentation. It could be a teleprompter. It could be, what else? Your microphones, your speakers, your PA system. All of that is audiovisual. So the first thing we're going to talk about is LED displays. That is a big one. Typically, when you have an event, the point is to have your guests, your attendees, look at things, look at your information, look at your product. And if you have such a big event that there's so many different vendors and so many people, when you have something with light, it pulls the eye. And so LED displays is a great way. And LED by themselves are energy efficient, better than the old traditional fluorescent, which is horrendous. But good morning, Crystal. Thank you for joining, pretty lady. Today on how to plan an eco-focused event, we're talking about sustainable and eco-focused audiovisual as the next step in planning the events. Good morning, Marina Shakur. Thank you so much for joining. We are talking, this series is how to plan an eco-focused event. And today we're talking about audiovisual. We had a couple of episodes. If you scroll in the profile, we figured out how to include eco-focused conversations in the planning stages of the event, what that looks like, how to find the right eco-focused venue that is certified, have energy saving things, then caterer. So now today we're talking about audiovisual. And every element of audiovisual, let me give you an example. It could be the lighting on the stage. It could be pin spot lighting on each guest table, highlighting the centerpieces. It could be up lighting along the wall. It could be a gobo, which is it's almost like a little projector that projects the monogram of the bride and groom on the wall, or the logo of the company, or something that goes with the theme projected on the wall. It could be intelligent lighting that goes with music on the stage, or lights that flash or blink. All those things. Your lavalier, wireless lavalier microphone, or the wired mic or cordless mic, or your projector and screen and teleprompter. All those things are a part of audiovisual. So today, gosh, your DJ and his equipment, the speakers, the PA system, all audiovisual. So today, we're going to talk about 3 elements of audiovisual and how to make them eco-focused. So we started off with number 1, LED displays. Those could be, it could look like a banner, like a pop-up banner, but it's a screen that you can run an ad on for your company, or show a picture of the bride and groom at the entrance. Instead of having the traditional giant picture frame on an easel, you could have almost like a pop-up banner LED display showing different pictures of the bride and the groom throughout their dating life. What else? It could be like a backdrop banner where it's showing all the sponsors of the event, but it's LED. So if you have a lot of sponsors and you have one screen, you can have it go from screen to screen showing all the sponsors. And what would differentiate the level of the sponsors is you could have like your platinum sponsor and they get one whole screen for themselves. Then you can have the gold and the silver and the bronze, and the print gets smaller. And that would differentiate the level of investment or sponsorship in the event. But it's one screen, so you're absolutely saving money there. And what else? You can even have little LED screens on the table showing the menus instead of having printed menu cards. There's so many ways to use LED displays. You can display one inside the event space and showcase table seating. There's so many ways. Now, energy efficient LED displays can use up to 90% less energy than traditional bulbs, which can lead to lower electricity bills and reduce demand on the grid. The great thing about LED displays also, it can automatically, adjust its brightness based on the ambient light in the room, which can help further reduce energy consumption. So if you have a room that is filled with more light, then the LED screen will be brighter so you can see it. If the room is darker, then the LED display will be dimmed a little bit, because you won't, if it's a dark room, you can easily see something that's lit. If it's light in the room, like this room, you're going to need more power to project a more powerful image so you can see it. Or it may just look like a faded out screen with a hint of something on the screen. So I like that these intelligent LED displays will adjust the light based on what's happening in the space. All right, so number 2, lower consumption projectors. Way back when, they used to have these slide projectors. That's like way back when I just started. And these little things, you slip it's like almost like a clear slide thing, and you slip it in and it clicks and it makes a sound as it goes from slide to slide. Really, really old school, okay? Then they converted to LCD projectors, yes. And those are just so big and bulky. These days, LCD projectors can be as small as your phone. You have some attachments and you can hook up to your iPhone and project just like a regular projector. In the past, event spaces, you'd have to rent those projectors from audiovisual companies and they would come and set it up and the whole thing. These days, LCD projectors are already attached in the ceiling of most event spaces. So you use a remote and you manage it there. So technology has just advanced in just the best way. But it also is advancing in the most eco-focused way, because they understand that tech, yes, it is more eco-focused than having the paper, but it still does leave a carbon footprint on the planet. So they're trying to go as energy efficient as possible and using really environmentally friendly resources to create the projectors. So lower consumption projectors. This includes utilizing eco-aware presentation tools, eco-conscious media production techniques. That means you definitely need somebody who is up on what is current and knows what to use based on what your event is about. You don't want overkill. You don't want like a massive amount of AV system for a board meeting. You want somebody who's aware. A board meeting for 10 people, you need a small projector already in the ceiling and like a TV. Then you can go bigger on the screen if you have like 20 people and it's different in a classroom style seating. Somebody who is intelligent in the AV space. So it matters how the information is presented so that, yes, your guests are able to see the information, but it's also not overkill. You're not using more than you need. All right. And for sure, a part of this is to make sure you have an audiovisual person on site with you. Yes, paying for the tech is, I think, by the hour. And you can include that in your initial invoice. Your event is 4 hours. Pay for the audiovisual tech person to be there for the 4 hours. Because if something happens, you don't want to be fumbling around trying to figure out between you and the speaker and the other people managing the event. You want a professional who can go in and spot what's happening and solve it right away so the program can continue. All right. Number 3, eco-friendly video conferencing. Video conferencing is not new. It's been around for quite a while, but since the pandemic, it has skyrocketed. Yes, Zoom was like one of the early ones that really got, I guess, famous during the pandemic or way successful, but it made room for Teams and Google Meet and so many different event platforms that you can have virtual events that you can watch on your phone or on your laptop, and you can go from room to room just like on Zoom. So, and that's eco-friendly in itself because that cuts down people traveling to your event. And traveling is one of the biggest offenders in the highest carbon emissions footprint because you may have to fly somewhere. Flying is horrendous on the environment. Driving somewhere, you may not all carpool if you're in the same company. You may have your own cars. That's 5 different cars or 10 different cars. If you're coming from the same company, you're driving from different places, going to the same event. It's a lot on the environment. So when you're doing video conferencing, yes, you still have carbon emissions from the use of the computer or the phone, but it's way less than if you were flying somewhere. A step towards sustainability, eco-friendly audiovisual technology promotes the use of green video conferencing tools. And green is the same term as eco-friendly or being sustainable. It's all along the same lines. I think green was one of the early terms. Like I used to do green weddings back in 2010. And nowadays it's now eco-focused and eco-friendly and sustainable. All right, so leveraging sustainable video conferencing platforms help reduce the need for business travel, like I was saying. There are a lot of summits and conferences that use these video conferencing platforms to have their trade shows, to have their summits and conferences, and it allows you to have a bigger audience to see a larger presentation, but you're like up front with the speaker and you can see, and they can spotlight you. And you can have situations where instead of going at the venue where you have different breakout rooms that you physically leave the general session and you walk to the breakout room. Now, based on what you sign up for at the end of the general session on the video platform, you're whisked to a virtual room where it's a smaller group of people and there's a speaker that's spotlighted and the whole thing. So much better for the environment. Now, you may not be up on your tech as far as what audiovisuals you need and what's eco-friendly, what brands are eco-friendly, what to look out for, how much do you need. Don't worry, that's where I come in. My name is Melody Dixon, and I'm the CEO and founder of Pro Event Planners, curators of eco-focused events. I work with audiovisual companies that are steeped in the knowledge. They get certified to be sustainable and eco-focused. They use that kind of product. They're knowledgeable. Based on your event and what your needs are, they recommend the right amount of audiovisual, not trying to sell you everything on the planet, only what you need. Now, for Instagram, the link is in the bio. For YouTube down here, the link is in the description of this live. It takes you to my website. When you click on it, it takes you to the Pro Event, to the packages page. Look at the Pro Events package. This is my hashtag hire it done for you. You tell me what event you want to have, what your expectations are as far as the look and feel of the event. What you want to do, is there a presentation? Are you trying to get the attendees' email addresses to grow your email list? Are you selling a product? Whatever it is, I take all that information, mash it up with your budget, and I hit the ground running and create not only a visually remarkable event for you, but one that's logistically sound and that frees you up to focus on your keynote speech, to focus on being the hostess with the mostest, to focus on being the bride or the groom or the mother to be, all the things. So I worry about all the behind the scene things so that you don't have to. If you have any questions on finding the right audiovisual for your event, let's connect. My email address is info@myproeventplanners.com. It comes directly to me and I'll respond to you. All right. Thank you so much for joining. Crystal, Lady of Harp, the best harpist in the world. Marina Shakur Habir. I don't want to butcher your screen name, but thank you so much for joining. For more information on the services, visit myproeventplanners.com. All right. Thank you so much for joining, and I will see you tomorrow when we'll tackle another event, how to plan an eco-focused event, another topic along those lines. Okay. Take care.